Hi guys, welcome to today's video. This is my week 11 prediction video, and I'm so sorry I cannot figure out why this little cord that's supposed to connect my phone to the TV to project my picks is not working. I will hopefully have that back ready by the time I get to Thanksgiving break, which is very soon, and that's where I'll have a lot more free time and time to post some more videos, especially other than pick videos. But alright, I know this isn't ideal. I'm sorry, but please bear with me if you can. We're doing my week 11 picks. So let's take a look. Thursday night, Packers and Seahawks. A couple of years ago, this game would probably be featuring two of the favorites in the NFC, but this could potentially be a game crucial to these teams' playoff chances. You look at the Packers at 4-4-1. I mean, they just came off games against the Patriots and Rams, so I mean, you can't really get too tougher opponents back to back, honestly. I mean, those are just two good teams. I mean, they almost beat the Rams. The Patriots, not quite almost, but they hung with them. And if you look at the Seahawks, I just don't see the same dynamic offense and Legion of Boom-like defense that I've seen when they were in the Super Bowl. I don't think Seattle's anything close to what they were a few years ago. I think Aaron Rodgers will work his magic, and the Packers, my Apple Pen is dead, will win this game on Thursday night and get back over 500 as they are trailing the Bears and Vikings in the NFC North. Alright, Cowboys and Falcons. Up until last week, I was cutting the Falcons some slack. I was like, yeah, they were 1-4, but look who they played. Look how close all their games were. But after this loss to the Browns, I'm a little bit more concerned about them. But then you also have to look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been very inconsistent. Dak Prescott is still a young quarterback. And I feel like sometimes in that Sunday night game against Philadelphia, he didn't make decisions quick enough, or he stared down his receivers too long. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that, but that's just what I feel like. And I feel like the Falcons team, they're having a rough year, but I feel like if their offense clicks, they can beat Dallas, and I think their offense will click, and they will beat Dallas, and they will go back to 5-5. All right, Bengals and Ravens. I mean, I never really bought into the Bengals hype. They're probably the definition of average right now, while the Ravens are kind of the same thing, so this is kind of like the mediocre bowl. I think the Ravens will win this game. I think their defense has had some good things, while the Bengals just got blown out by the Saints, and I think that really shows the gap between them and truly contending for a Super Bowl. I think that this Bengals team is destined to either miss the playoffs or lose in the wild card game, which they have become so good at over recent years. Panthers and the Lions. The thing with Detroit is always, I feel like always, they're always 7-9, 8-8, or 9-7 at the end of the year. If they sneak into the playoffs, they're a wild card and they lose in the first round. If they don't, they miss by a game or two. So really, if you're Detroit, I think Detroit is headed for a rebuild direction. Because look, I feel like trading away Golden Tate for just a pick was kind of a hint, nudge, that we are going to be that they are going to be rebuilding. They say that the Detroit Lions are going to be rebuilding come this offseason, because you don't just trade away a great receiver for a pick unless you have rebuild on your mind. I really do think that there's a chance that this could be Matthew Stafford's last season in Detroit, because look at it. They're 3-6. They're about to be 3-7. Panthers win this one. And I just look at this. If they want, the Detroit Lions have not been able to truly contend with Matthew Stafford ever. They're either, like I said, just below 500, 500, or 500. That's it. I really think that he might be on his way out after this year, because they got to just say, look, we can't win with Matthew Stafford. We don't want to keep going 7-9, 8-8, stuff like that. We want to truly contend. Even if there'll be some growing pains, we want to get to that contending spot where we have a Patriots-like dynasty. I think this is Matthew Stafford's last year in a Detroit uniform, because I think that team is headed for a rebuild and will focus on getting draft picks come this offseason. All right, how about the Tennessee Titans? Hello there. Just dominated the Patriots. I mean, it's one thing if you beat the Patriots, but it's one thing if you beat them by 24 points. Wow, I was blown away by that game. I think Tennessee could be a dark horse team. I think they will make the playoffs. I don't think they will win the division, but I think they'll be a wild card, and I think they'll get a step closer to guaranteeing that by beating the Indianapolis Colts, who also have gone on a little bit of a roll, and this AFC South race is getting a little bit tighter. All right, Buccaneers and Giants. Kudos to the Giants. I mean, with all that's going on right now, the frustration, they thought they were going to be better, a lot better this year, potentially contend for a playoff spot. I think this is Eli Manning's last year in a Giants uniform, and Pat Shurmur could possibly be a one-and-done coach. But you know what? These Giants, and Eli Manning especially, along with Odell Beckham and some of the guys who've been on that team for a while, obviously Manning a lot more longer than Beckham, but my point is, they've got pride, and I think Eli Manning kind of knows, whether he wants to admit it or not, that this is probably his last year in a Giants uniform. But I think when he's on the field, he just plays like he just takes it day by day, game by game, play by play. So I just really admire the fight in this Giants team, and I think they'll make enough plays, and they'll play with enough motivation and beat Tampa Bay and get their second straight win. Because I just noticing the way they fought and came back against San Francisco, they didn't care about draft position. They didn't care if Eli Manning was going to be around for next year or not. They came out there and they played their best football because they knew that they just wanted something good. They fought hard, so kudos to them. They're not going to do much this year, but this was just good to see. Texans and the Redskins, a battle of division-leading 6-3 teams, two teams that were nowhere near winning their division last year, but now are looking like they could win their divisions. The Texans, I feel like they're off. For a few years, the Texans were just defense, 9-7, losing the playoffs. Defense takes you to the playoffs. You go 9-7, you lose in the playoffs. But this Texans offense is finally giving them a complete team that can contend, not just for an AFC wildcard, but possibly for a first-round bye. Although getting first-round byes in the AFC will be extremely tough this year, as there is a possibility that a 13-3 team might not get the week off. I think the Texans beat Washington. I think that now that Demaryius Thomas has a whole week and has the rest of the playbook down, they'll be able to use him more, along with DeAndre Hopkins doing what he does. The Texans are on fire, and they don't want to go 9-7 and just sneak into the wild card round. This team wants a first round bye. I think they've got a shot if they win out. Texans win, go to 7-3. Steelers and the one-hit wonder of 2017, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, Tony Romo says they're going to be in the Super Bowl. If Blake Bortles does this, the Jaguars are going to be in the Super Bowl. This team might not win 7 games. I knew it. I knew they were a one-season wonder. I knew Blake Bortles wasn't a franchise quarterback. I have to think that this has to be, the Jaguars have to be looking at this 2019 draft class, because for quarterbacks, maybe thinking about guys like Will Grier or Justin Herbert from West Virginia and Oregon, respectively, because I think they got to be scouting quarterbacks right now, because I don't think this team is going to ever win like they did last year with the division title and almost making it to the Super Bowl. I think if I'm the Jaguars, this is it for Blake Bortles. He's turning over the ball too much. He's not consistent. You got to redo that quarterback position and find someone in the draft, whether it be Grier, Herbert, or maybe like Ryan Finley or one of those other quarterback prospects. Still got to do a little bit more research on them, but know a little bit of the basics. Steelers win this game. Pittsburgh's back to normal. Everyone was freaking out. Le'Veon who? James Conner is doing more than what was expected of him. Oh, yeah. Okay, the Oakland Raiders, coached by John Gruden, against Steve Wilkes, Arizona Cardinals. These two teams I expected to be better. But, the Cardinals, obviously Sam Bradford didn't go as planned. But I haven't seen anything good from the Raiders. I haven't seen them in so long. From the Cardinals, I've seen a little bit of bright spots here and there. But from the Raiders, ever since the Week 4 overtime win against the Browns, they've just been mailing it in. And I know this season is not going as planned for the Raiders, so I think the Raiders might also be another one of those teams that could rebuild, as they probably have 10 first-round picks. But seriously, everyone's laughing right now, making memes about John Gruden and Mark Davis trading for picks. But come draft day in April, trust me, no one's going to be laughing, because you're going to be like, what, the Raiders have a chance to get all 3 of those prospects? And that's true, because, look what the Browns did in 2017. They had 3 first-round picks, and they got Myles Garrett, Javen Njoku, and Jabril Peppers, who are still all on the team today. All right, Broncos and the overrated Chargers. The Chargers win this game. They are not close to being an 8-2 team. Well, they're going to be an 8-2 team, but they're not close to the expected skill of an 8-2 team because they haven't played anybody. You beat the Browns. You beat the Bills. You beat San Francisco with C.J. Beathard. They haven't played enough quality opponents for me to even consider them a legitimate playoff contender. Or a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They might make the playoffs, but still. All right, Chargers win that game. Gee, it's almost as if I said the Eagles were going to miss the playoffs next year after they won the Super Bowl. I don't really buy that Super Bowl hangover thing or championship hangover thing forever. I think it doesn't matter if you won the championship last year, you haven't won it for 100 years. You should be playing with the same effort, same grind every single day. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if when the Eagles go to practice every morning, instead of watching game film, they're probably just watching Super Bowl 52 highlights, because this team is nowhere near to what they were back during their Super Bowl run. Saints win it. Saints are the best team in the NFC. Okay, the flex to Sunday Night Football. America's game on NBC. There you see it, NBC. The only place to be. Game on. It's Sunday night. Vikings and Bears. Battle for first place in the NFC North. I think the Bears' defense has been great, led by Khalil Mack. Their secondary is improving, and they'll beat Kirk Cousins, who is okay. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a little overhyped in my opinion, but this should be a fairly defensive game. I think the Bears take it by a touchdown. All right, Monday Night Football from Los Angeles. Potential Super Bowl preview. I mean, this is going to be a spectacular game. I mean, two of the most promising young quarterbacks in the game, two of the most promising young running backs in the game, and two of our potential Super Bowl favorites. This could possibly be a Super Bowl preview. I don't know where these teams will be seated yet. They very well could both have first-round byes. This could be a Super Bowl preview. I think the LA Rams take it because they're going to have the ball last, and they're going to take it down and score and win by, one possession. This will be a good one, as will many of the games this week. I'm going to scroll up through my picks. Team in blue is the team that I think are going to win. Again, I am so sorry for the technical difficulties. Still working on it. It's really frustrating me because I also use that for a lot of other things. And just a quick couple notes. I'm going to show you guys the current playoff picture. And just so you kind of have an idea. And just another thing, if the Seahawks lose on Thursday to the Packers, and if the Rams beat the Chiefs on Monday, the Rams are NFC West champs. So the Rams can clinch the NFC West if Seattle loses this week and they win. So they have a chance to be NFC West champions before Thanksgiving, and no team has clinched a division that early for as long as I've been watching football. So, that will pretty much do it. I'm just going to try and find the NFL playoff picture just to show you guys, give you guys an update on how everything is. Ignore my hand. So if the season ended today after Week 10, the Patriots would not have a first-round bye, and that's very un-Patriot-like, as they seem to always have a first-round bye. Okay. Okay, we're trying a different site. Okay, we're going on this. Ignore my crazy bracket that I made up. Those are fake predictions. Right now, this would be the AFC playoff bracket. And look at the New England Patriots not having a first-round bye. But look at those teams' record. There's a legitimate possibility that a team like the Patriots or the Texans could win out and not have a first-round bye. While meanwhile, you'll see the overhyped Chargers because they haven't played anybody in the 5 seed, and the Bengals getting ready to be in prime position to lose in the wild card round again at the 6 seed. Shifting over to the NFC, the LA Rams have the first seed right now, but they also have a game in hand the Saints have a game in hand over the Rams. So LA is 9-1, the Rams are 8-1. The Bears lead the NFC North and have a big Sunday night game. Washington is a surprise leader in the NFC East. They play Houston at home this week. And the two wild cards, not too surprising. I mean, not exactly what I expected, but if you told me this before the season, I would have understood it. Carolina at 6-3, Minnesota at 5-3-1. So this is your current playoff picture. Who will it be? There's still a lot left to be decided. Again, our clinching scenario for this week: the LA Rams win and the Seattle Seahawks lose. And the LA Rams are 2018 NFC West champs already. We'll see what happens. It's that time of year again where we're looking at playoff scenarios. I love this time of year. I love playoff scenarios. I love playing around with this thing. This video is way too long. I know that, but thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll figure that out.